They double team Booker, take it out of his hands. The Lakers in rotation. Chris Paul back to Crowder for three. And they'll get another opportunity. Booker from deep. And Drummond controls after a couple of Phoenix misses. James out to Caldwell Pope, guarded by Booker. A long two by Caldwell Pope and rebounded.
Just always 5 out. As Chris Paul gets in, another wide open three.
Defers to Booker for the long range jumper.
Yeah, he said they hear it from everybody else. They don't need to hear it from him.
Well, Ayton doesn't seem rattled early in this game. A couple of early field goals. Top ankle sprain that he suffered. Hit the side of the backboard on that one. Back comes Chris Paul. Hit the side of the backboard on that one. Back comes Chris Paul. And Paul for three. Got it. Paul weaving through traffic. Let's call it a pass. Ayton with 10 points.
To get Ayton another easy one.
A couple of assists already for Chris Paul. Davis with the spin move. Well defended by Ayton. Paul into the paint. Crowder for three. Got it! Cameron Payne, one of those great stories for the Suns this year. His career resurrected by Monty Williams. Saric rattles another one home.
He played well. He's taken advantage of another opportunity.
That was in the G League after going to China.
The athletic trainers here have diagnosed him with a right shoulder contusion, but as you can see, guys, he is fully available to play and ready to make his mark on this game. Mark.
It was a 9-point lead for the Suns when he left initially. They still lead by 9, and turnover. We'll have to keep an eye on what he looks like.
Ayton picked up his 3rd foul. Let's see if Saric can make the same plays that Ayton was to finish.
Boy, Booker in rhythm right now. Here's CP3, little floater from the elbow, a little strong. Tipped up. LeBron couldn't get it. Johnson does. Johnson for three. LeBron back the other way, but Chris Paul did come back in the latter part of the second quarter.
I watched Chris Paul shoot a lot of threes as Drummond overpowers Jay Crowder.
Trying to get his shot right. The coaching staff says, look, he's going to go out here and give it everything he has. They don't intend to change the game plan because he's a little bit hobbled.
Little bully ball on Schroeder, his former teammate, and gets the propitious roll.
An excuse, and you love that about him.
Been a member of the NBA's all-defensive team several times. Crowder with the free throw line jumper. Ayton flips the screen. Paul got his shot off and shot a line drive. Didn't really come close. James missing again at the foul line. A whistle. James goes down hard to the court. They double team him over to Chris Paul, guarded by Kuzma. Tough shot by Paul. Wow! Paul usually gets that spot, can pull up for an elbow jump shot, but you have to wonder with his injury whether he can. Left that one short, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Caldwell Pope helping out. They're really loading towards him. The kick out. Chris Paul throws up the runner and left it short.
Section of the Booker shot was Anthony Davis, and here he comes, and outside to Caldwell Pope for three. And he struggled in game 1 from 3, and Chris Paul has the rebound.
With that block on Booker's shot on the high screen and roll that gave them so much problem in game 1.
Here's Davis, who's out on Chris Paul. Ayton with the screen. They try the screen roll. Down low it goes. Deflected away. 2 good defensive plays for the Lakers already.
Pressure on Ayton on that offensive glass.
There's some resolve now by Chris Paul. This is over Drummond. Some were in the press calling it a stinger, and thus he has the tape right there. So here is Chuck and Kenny with tonight's FanDuel free-to-play game. Bounding in game 1, and Booker the other way, and there is Caldwell Pope with a floater on the fly by Paul and a tip-in try. Saric tries to get it and retrieves. And 16 rebounds. He only missed one shot in game one. There's another body on the floor, and that is Schroeder and Chris Paul.
As upset as AD was after game one.
Screen by Ayton. Paul outside. That mid-range shot, and he takes a bunch of them. Davis over Ayton, couldn't hit it. And here comes Chris Paul in game one. 7 points and 4 boards, and he sneaks one inside. And there is Ayton, who puts it back in and with ease. He's got 8 points and a couple rebounds. Second quarter, game one, right shoulder, a stinger, a shoulder bruise. It's taped. Oh, makes a seductive fake that time, and Gasol bit.
Matchup zone here for Phoenix Suns.
Davis on top again, trying to wall him. Horton Tucker 3. Rebound by Chris Paul. He'll sprint the other way for the Phoenix Suns. Down by 4. They've trailed by 11. Look at the maneuvering of Paul, and he finds an open shot outside the lane. Put in a 3, and that is the third 3 by the Lakers tonight. Spinning, driving, and it's Torrey Craig flying off that baseline, and Paul spoon-feeding for the Suns.
And Cameron Payne, they are putting on a show on their drives into the paint.
It's a Gasol 3. He had hit one, clanks that away. So Ayton's 12, leading all scorers. Booker's got 10, and weaving through traffic and trying to stay on his feet is Paul, and down.
Good game one for Schroeder, 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting.
Halfway down that lane, there's Chris Paul, and he has the #1 mid-range field goal percentage.
He's a tough guy to deal with right there. You probably want to force him to his left more than anything.
Book. Little ball fake. KCP had to lay off, playing with 2 fouls.
And by Kaiser Permanente, the care you need to bounce back.
No, Kevin, you need to say that stat again about LeBron for the people in the back, because that is unbelievable and outstanding.
And LeBron comes up with the assist, and he's got 5. Squirting free here is Paul, right to the rack, and a foul. But LeBron James has never trailed 2 games to none in his 14 career first-round series. Schroeder will meet him with a switch, and another turnover by Phoenix, and that was intercepted by Davis. Ahead to Schroeder, and he'll slice inside for 2. Switch on defense, Drummond, helped by Schroeder. Booker will try to pierce and got it. Wow! Nice play by Devin Booker.
Chris Paul out here setting a lot of back screens.
Caruso driving. Wesley Matthews 3. And they fight inside, and there is a Phoenix foul. Chris Paul and Schroeder. Payne out there. There's Caruso. A 3 for the top.
Payne has been fantastic, Kevin.
Paul trying to get around Drummond, finds Ayton, got a mismatch there, and Ayton takes advantage of Dennis Schroeder. Phoenix high turnover first quarter in game 2. Lakers give it right back. So Ayton on the other end gets a steal. Here's Paul now. He'll pull the mid-range. Paul, he's looking pretty good here. You see a lot of the treatment. You can see the results of that treatment. Typically throughout the regular season, the Suns at a very slow pace. Obviously, Chris Paul makes them very efficient as he hits another mid-range.
Allow them to get an extra game under their belt where they can develop some more continuity and chemistry before actually getting into the playoffs.
Mikal Bridges set up by Paul, right down the pipe for Mikal Bridges, and a tough shot. No chance there for Payne. Good defense by the Lakers. In transition now, LeBron gives it up. Matthews for 3, no. Suns down a pair at a 1-point lead at the quarter break as Chris Paul hits a mid-range jumper, and we're all tied at 33. Is on a minute-by-minute basis right now. That's a good stand for him. Late clock here. LeBron, he'll put it up, comes up short. Crowder working on LeBron James. That was a finals matchup last year. Crowder with the Miami Heat. Now Matthews. Lakers have gone cold. Paul's got Drummond on him, gets right by him, and a little fadeaway, no good. 14 out of 32, shooting at 44%, but they've missed their last 6. Nice strip down by Caruso. Give it right back. Paul with a steal. At 10 of that first quarter, Lakers have opened up a 5-point lead. It's a 5-0 run. Chris Paul looking for the lob, and Ayton there on the receiving end. Crowder all over Davis. Here goes Schroeder now. Got some space. Schroeder comes up short.
Chris Haynes, gentlemen, use that word loosely, my man. Use it loosely over here.
Took me back a little bit. You're right. Stunned me for a moment. Great to have Chris with us. Here's McLemore trying to get loose for 3 with the ball here side out. Crowder will put it in. 3:42 remaining in the second quarter. Back and forth game. It's a close one. That's going to be a foul. Inside Ayton gives it right back. He's got Caldwell Pope on him. Surprised he didn't want it.
Yeah.
Paul will take it.
Mavs won 2 out of the 3 games. Luka has been dominant, since the bubble.
There's a steal by Caldwell Pope. 2 on his tail, and he scores it. Outraced him with the dribble to the basket. Here goes Booker now. A very low scoring game. Chris mentioned that 11-1 run going back to the end of the quarter, and the much needed basket for the Phoenix Suns. 7th Phoenix turnover. Suns protect the ball very well. And up top, that's down for the Suns.
Point number 38 for the Lakers.
And the Lakers with 8 fast break points. Here's Paul, gets stuck in traffic, comes up short. Vogel going with short runs with a lot of his players. He's not exactly comfortable with it. That was a tough shot by Chris Paul.
Caruso misses the 3-pointer. Torrey Craig, who was acquired from the Bucks trade deadline time, will stop it.
It's been so nice to have the fans back and Laker playoff basketball back in LA. Of course, last year's championship, all the playoff games in Orlando, Florida.
But you're right. If he makes that shot, you've done your job defensively.
Chris Paul finds room. Elbow jumper's good.
And Phoenix is really trying to pack the paint right now as Paul misses a 3, so they don't get hurt there.
36 years old, playing against LeBron James in the playoffs for the first time in their careers, these 2 pals. As Crowder gets to the rim, banks one home. As the game went on, he's looked sharp early on. Cam Johnson goes right at Drummond and finishes. Beautiful move from Johnson.
But to get back to that, Mike, we all make mistakes as coaches, as players, as referees. That's 3 points made up off of a call that should have been made.
Kyle Kuzma, some good minutes off the bench. 10 straight points by the Lakers. Payne and a goaltend.
But the second unit of Phoenix right now
has not played a lot so far. Didn't play games 1 and 2 of this series. As Crowder goes inside, bank shot is good. Jake Crowder, his second drive to the bucket. James was with Cleveland. Drummond with the left hand, can't get it to fall. He thought he was hit. Ayton the rebound. The Suns bench yelling, push the ball. Crowder, open 3. That's good. And boy, does that have to feel good for Jake Crowder.
Great scrambling defense by the Lakers.
And the side-to-side swipe for Chris Paul.
I'm believing that shot is not going to beat us.
Chris Paul, the hesitation, the pullback, shoots over Gasol. And Paul, his second field goal. Finds some room, pulls up, jumper, in and out. Tip misses by Bridges. And that's going to end the first half. 8 and 4 points, 6 boards. Chris Paul, nice feed inside. Ayton goes right at Drummond and finishes with the foul. And here comes Chris Paul. 8-point Phoenix lead with Anthony Davis back in the locker room. Ayton down low against James, and Ayton able to finish. 5 on the 24. Booker out to Paul. Paul inside to Ayton, gathers, bank shot, missed it. Rebound knocked out of his hands. Pass deflected. Ayton comes up with it, back to Chris Paul.
Winding up with high percentage shots.
Well, after a make too. So just going right at, using their speed.
Lakers defense has no answer for what the Suns are trying to accomplish offensively.
Third foul on Kuzma. Chris Paul falling away, rolls around and drops through. And Schroeder moving his feet beautifully there. Now looking to help out on Booker. Shot clock at 5. 2 on the 24. Paul has to hoist up a 3. Does hit the rim. James the rebound. Paul on the drive, goes to the rim, left-handed, flips it up off the glass. Chris Paul looking sharp.
Suns thinking 2 for 1 right now.
Paul, elbow jumper, too strong. Caruso the rebound. 5 players in double figures for Phoenix have had excellent balance. With Phoenix Suns, Mark, they've got to love what they're seeing from Chris Paul. Shot clock is turned off. Schroeder out to Kuzma, 3-pointer. Off the mark, rebound Paul, final seconds. Paul flips it up, underhanded. Payne unable to finish that time. So Harrell hasn't played since game 1, but getting some important minutes. We are seeing all the reasons why Phoenix had the second best record in the NBA by what they're doing here in the second half. Chris Paul knocks it in, and it's up to an 18-point lead. It's averaging just under 13 boards a game in this series. Paul throws it up, and Ayton gets it to go. Didn't quite grab it, and Kuzma was right there on top of him. Jeff, you're right. They have pushed the pace. Now up to 46% from the field. Harrell contested. Ayton right there. Couldn't finish, but he did draw the foul, and Ayton will shoot 2. Suns have been in control here in the second half. Still plenty of time, though. Paul loves that elbow jumper. Not that time. And Marc Gasol able to corral it. Crowd trying to get fired up. Been hard to do that the way the Suns have dominated the second half. Pass inside to James. Count it, and 1. Ayton sets the screen for Chris Paul. Back for Booker. Booker fires away. It's good. A 2-pointer for Booker. Paul looking. Paul driving. Falling away. It's good. Chris Paul once again. 18 for Paul. Now Gasol. Ayton comes out on him this time. James to Gasol. Pass deflected and stolen by Paul. Chris Paul with the defense once again.
Oh, yes, you do, because he knows he can get a shot.
Paul on the drive, falling away.
Yeah, an awful one.
And they're just wisely using the clock in their favor right now. Paul the dribble back out Crowder. Crowder tries another 3. Rebound Chris Paul.
Years back, along with his twin brother. They are on this Phoenix Suns squad at the same time. Chris Paul pulls up mid-range. That's what he did really well the other night. And rebound now to LeBron.
Paul had 18 and 9 assists in game 4. Good move, deceptive move that time. Booker on the fly, and he beats Markieff Morris. Crowder is going to start on LeBron. He sprints by him, bumping into Ayton, sandwich inside. Shot clock at 7. James against Ayton. Long shot here. Rebound Paul.
And right there defensively, as Phoenix zones up when LeBron's in that mid post, rebound opportunity there for Drummond.
Paul with a 3, and he has struggled from 3, but look at Bridges parachute in.
But getting out in pace, easy baskets in transition, a must for Phoenix before this Laker defense sets up.
Crowder with a 3 between LeBron and Schroeder. That's a good matchup with no AD. Bridges out on Schroeder with his triple. Chris Paul there with another rebound. Picked up by Craig. Inside on Ayton. Diving for 2. Can't get it. And Drummond there with the offensive board. And the pass a little bit awkward.
But I agree with Anthony Davis. Look, this season with and without AD, the Lakers still the #1 defense in the NBA. But right now.
Picked up by Craig. He's put in some good minutes. Experience with Denver, then to the Bucks. Now with the Suns. The shifty Paul over KCP. Rebound by LeBron. Kuzma is gone. Matthews is back in for the Lakers. And there he is, getting the ball from Schroeder. His triple astray and picked up inside by Paul.
Normally when the team that's being outworked, the Suns are getting all the lucky bounces.
Book fading from the corner. A long 2. Well, they've done it without Chris Paul scoring. Gets to look at the 3. Yes!
$17-1 run for Phoenix. LA hasn't scored a field goal in over 5 minutes, and a drive by Chris Paul as he slices for 2. Paul, McLemore is on him. Down to 3. Dancing. 15-footer Chris Paul. He's one of the best in the NBA at that mid-range shot. Matthews will pick him up. Nice pass, 3, Paul, no. Defended on the close by Schroeder. Collects his 5th rebound with 6 points. Setting a wall, Schroeder fights through it. Inside pass, broken up, intended for Bridges. And now it goes to Caruso. He'll take it the other way. Bridges with now 7 points, averaging 8 in this series and 13 in the regular year. Drummond with a spin, Ayton defends. 54% shooting for the Suns, 32% shooting for the Lakers. Gushing into the paint was Paul and finished up nicely by DeAndre Ayton.
And just being outworked and outplayed on all facets by the Phoenix Suns.
Bad pass right there by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and a spinner put up and down, and 24 for Booker.
Like they figured out, okay, this is how we can beat this team. And almost like they gained a great deal of confidence in that game 4, and it's carried over here in this game 5. And no ball movement, no player movement right now for the Lakers on their offensive end, playing right into the hands. And as you see on the other end, the Suns, it's like a hot potato.
LeBron dips down low with Ayton. Paul denied 3 of 8, and he'll fly inside and can't get it. Gasol is there.
Of Monty Williams and what he brought to this franchise last year, and of course on display with their record in the bubble, winning 8 in a row. So they felt good about themselves going into the offseason.
Chris, first free throw tonight, but clearly in a game like this with a huge lead. Paul out there. Vogel told us in game 5, so Gasol will get the start. Here comes Paul. No changes for the Phoenix Suns. Crowder free to fire. It's a 3 for Phoenix. Chris Paul injured that right shoulder the other night with a bump right there. Bit of a screen, switch on defense. Paul down low. Had 9 points and 6 assists. Floats one up here. That's his shot.
Keeping the Lakers on the perimeter where they've struggled shooting the basketball all series.
One thing they don't want to let them do either is get set up in that half-court defense. 3. Good! Crowder's hit one more. Davis is inside. Crowder beats him to the rebound. This Phoenix team has not been there for 11 years. Those other teams that won all had been in the playoff rotation. His groin.
Well, no question. I mean, when you have an injury, you overcompensate sometimes, and that can lead to another injury someplace else, which may have played a role in his groin injury occurring.
LeBron got a hand on it. Here come the Suns again. 3-on-2. Paul in the middle. Cam Johnson tees up a 3. It's the 11th 3 for the Phoenix Suns.
In the NBA this regular season.
Schroeder has come in. Quick double on Booker with the spinner. Beautiful shot. 24 for Devin Booker. Chris Paul with a couple fouls. 0 of 2 so far. He'll dance, dart, fire, and hit. Again, Gasol is on Chris Paul. Here comes Booker. A 3. Good! Booker's got 27.
Can't be complacent. You've dominated this game, had a great first half, but you have to complete the game here.
Woo! Wow!
Speaking of complete. And he and Ayton have formed that chemistry this season, and it was on display on that play.
Here's Paul over James. Rebound Gasol. Trying to gash what he can into the paint and underneath Ayton, and kicks it back out for Paul. Shot clock at 6. Mid-range shot. That is his money shot. Paul around the screen, and Crowder as they try to set, and the Lakers again set their defense. 3, Paul, no. And the Lakers again set their defense. 3, Paul, no. Rebound James, claimed by Chris. Ayton inside, got it. Ayton is in, down low. Good follow defense there by Morris. Shot clock at 5. Paul for 2. Rebound LeBron. Phoenix won a game here earlier in this series. Driving his LeBron into 2, could not. So he's come in, gotten a basket and a rebound. Johnson with a 3. That's a big one for the Phoenix Suns. Cameron Johnson cans one from outside.
That's how they've gotten back into this game.
Chris Paul into Schroeder with the hesitation and the spinner. Paul again puts it down. Paul and Schroeder. Chris Paul grinding away. Bridges corner 3. Good! Big shot by Mikal Bridges.
You can't leave strong side corner to help on the drive. Chris Paul, beautiful pass, made him play.
Morris three. Too strong. Paul is there.
Gets them in their sets. Gets a good shot attempt every time.
Big shot by Chris Paul. What a stroke. He's come out and had a terrific fourth quarter. Paul, he finds Bridges. Plunges into the paint. Three, Chris Paul. Rebound by Wesley Matthews. It's Booker who's been quiet here in the fourth. Matthews is on him. Shot clock at 5. Draws the double. Free to fire. 3, Paul. And it's out, and it's lassoed inside. LeBron's on Paul. Booker now picked up by both. He and Matthews. Crowder, 3. Good! Big time 3 by Jay Crowder.
And Dennis Schroeder trying to force a double team, get the ball out of Booker's hands, but this guy right here has caused all types of trouble.
Missing on the fadeaway. Paul outside, and teeing one up is Crowder with another 3. And here comes Chris Paul. And the Phoenix Suns will give it to Booker with a drive and a season high of 47.